students, welcome to the next lecture of the chapter Herbs as Raw Material, that is Indian System of Medicine Ayurveda. The subject code BP603T Herbal Drug Technology. I am Dr. Kamal Madan, Associate Professor, Lloyd Institute of Management and Technology. Ayurveda. Ayurveda is not a new term for us. We have been using this science since ages. Our grandfathers, their grandfathers, they have been using herbal drugs since time immemorial, and that has become part of our daily life. We have been using tulsi, adrak, haldi in different type of diseases at home. So this comes from Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a word which is combination of two words called Ayu plus Ved. It is life and knowledge, that is the science of life. This is the science which existed almost before 5,000 years old, and it is a natural healing traditional system of the medicine. Ayurveda comes from the Upved called Atharvaved. You all must be familiar with the four Vedas or Ved which exist in our culture, in our tradition, in our heritage. These are Samved, Atharvaved, Rigved and Yajurved. And Ayurveda is a part of Atharvaved. Ayurveda has been obtained from the rishi called Agni, who was a follower or the deity of the god himself. He was a disciple of the sage Atriya, who was the founder of Ayurveda, and his work has been compiled in the official literature which is called as Agni Samhita. From the rishi Atriya it was carried to Agni, and from Agni it was carried to Charak. And finally, the Charak compiled in what literature we have with us today in the oldest textbook of the Ayurveda called Charak Samhita. It was given by the Charak, who was the ancient Ayurvedic scholar. So this is the science which is existing in our culture, in our tradition, in our own word since ages. Ayurveda is based on some of the theories and the basic concept. In Ayurveda, it is said मिथ्या आहार विहार नहीं होना चाहिए, अर्थात आपका जीवन जीने का ढंग, आपका खान पान, आपकी दिनचर्या, आपकी जो भी प्रक्रिया है वो सब आपके शरीर को प्रभाव करती है. तो कुछ ऐसे कंसेप्ट्स हैं जिस पे आयुर्वेदा ट्रस्ट करती है एंड बिलीव करती है एज वेल एज वर्क करती है. वी शैल डिस्कस दोज डिफरेंट थ्योरीज वन बाय वन. द थ्योरीज विच आर गिवन आर सम्यक फिलॉसफी और पंच महाभूता, थ्री क्वालिटीज अर्थात गुण या गुणास, थ्री ह्यूमर्स अर्थात दोष और दोषास, 7 tissues. It is also based one of the theories on the toxins, 16 channels. Its theory is also based on the digestive fire, that is the Agni, or Ayurvedic mind, that is Prakriti. Now we shall discuss these theories one by one in brief. Panch Mahabhut, Panch अर्थात 5, पांच एलिमेंट्स से हमारी ये सृष्टि, हमारी ये दुनिया बनी है और हमारा ये शरीर भी जो है उसी से बना है. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू आयुर्वेदा देर आर 5 तत्व और दी प्रिंसिपल्स विच आर गिवन. दिस आज अक्स और स्पेस which is based on the principle of the all pervasiveness, means it exists everywhere. It facilitates hearing and the sound feature of our body. Its examples include hollow and light foods. Another is Vayu or the air, which is responsible for the, or which is based on the principle of the motion This felicitate touching. The examples of such food consist of the biscuits, cookies, cabbage, beans and apples. Third tattva or the element is tejas or fire, which is based on the principle of the illumination, that is the light, and it felicitates the sight of our body. And the example include chilies, ginger, pepper, clove, cumin. The fourth element is jal or water, pani. It is based on the principle of the cohesion and it felicitates tasting. And the examples of such food include drinks, soups, melon, cucumber. The fifth element or the tattva is prithvi or the earth, which is also based on the principle of the cohesion, and it is felicitating the smell. And the food item includes fried food, cheese, cake and banana. Another theory which Ayurveda is based upon is the three qualities or the gun. किसी भी फूड आइटम का जो भी हम कंज्यूम करते हैं उसके गुण कैसे हैं, मीन्स उसका पोटेंशियल, उसका स्कोप कैसा है, हाउ इट इज़ गोइंग टू अफेक्ट आवर हेल्थ और द नेचर ऑफ आवर बॉडी. आप सब ने ये सुना होगा कि जैसा आप खाएंगे वैसा ही आपका शरीर होगा. We normally say that while having your food, you should not see television or some violent scenes, because yes, it actually makes a difference as per Ayurveda and this actually exists. तो जो आपका खाना है, भोजन है, उसके कैसे गुण हैं वो आपकी स्वास्थ्य को प्रभाव डालते हैं. Three qualities or the gun we can discuss here are: Prakriti is held together in a balanced state tension by these three universal constituents. These aspects combine in variable proportion to create a manifest phenomena. These are Sattva gun, Rajas gun, Tamas gun. If we talk about the superiority or the hierarchy, Sattva gun are always better than the Rajas and as well as Tamas. Sattva gun means qualities of the balance, equality and the stability. So it is always said आपको सात्विक भोजन करना है because उसके अंदर सत्व गुण रहते हैं. Rajas gun which generate activity and which change and disturbance. This is the second in the rank to the Sattva gun. Third is the Tamas, which makes you immobile, still and stuck quality. The quality of life is not that very active as which is done by the consumption of the Sattva gun. Similarly, Ayurveda is based on the three humors और दोष. इन तीन दोषों के नाम हैं वात, कफ और पित्त. हम सब की बॉडी में वात, पित्त, कफ एग्जिस्ट करता है. इन सब दोषों की प्रपोर्शन वेरी करती है आपकी इंडिविजुअल बॉडी मेकअप से. अगर इनका बैलेंस मेंटेन नहीं हो पाता तो वो एक डिजीज़ का कारण या फिर रीज़न बनता है. बैलेंस मेंटेन करने के लिए हमें एक परफेक्ट डाइट और परफेक्ट लाइफस्टाइल को अपनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Let us study these three doshas or these three humors. This include Vat. Vat pertains to the air and ether element that act as a force. It directs nerve impulses, circulation, respiration and elimination. वात मतलब वायु. जैसे आप कहते हैं ना वायुवादी खाना, ऐसा भोजन जिससे आपको डाइजेशन इश्यूज रहते हैं. कफ. कफ नॉर्मली वी टॉक अबाउट कफिंग. अगर आपको थ्रोट इन्फेक्शन है तो कफ आएगा. येस, इट इज़ रिलेटेड टू द सेम बट इट इज़ कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट अदरवाइज. सी, कफ pertains to water and the earth element. Kaf is responsible for growth and protection. Examples include the mucosal lining of the stomach, the cerebral spinal fluid, these include cough. Third dosh or third humor is pith. Pith pertains to the fire and water elements that deals with metabolism, the transformation of food into nutrient. It helps in the metabolism of the organ and the body. There is another theory based on the 7 tissues. As per these 7 tissues, जब भी हम कोई भोजन करते हैं तो इस हायरार्की में हमारी बॉडी का कंपोजिशन बनता है. This 7 tissues include this way in the increasing order. Number 1 is Ras. Ras, which forms the plasma, leukocyte and thrombocytes of our body. Then comes the Rakt. Rakt arthat khoon, or we can also call it as red blood cells. Mass, मांसपेशियाँ यानी कि मसल टिश्यू, मस्कुलर सिस्टम बनता है हमारी बॉडी का. Fourth is Medas, which is a fat tissue which is underlying in the dermis layer, that is the adipose tissue. Next is Asthi. Asthi arthat bone and the cartilage, that is the structure of our body. Sixth is Mach, which is related to the marrow and the brain, which makes the brain stronger अगर आप accordingly same food खाते हैं तो. And last is Shukra, which deals with the male reproductive substances. Some other theories are also given which may not be of that importance as compared to the 3 dosha. Now, these theories are that of the based on the toxins arthat ama. Toxins means unmetabolized waste that is not utilized by the body. Sometimes what happens is we have a routine of eating our food in the span of 4 to 6 hours. This span is given so that the food easily get digested and it is absorbed into the blood. But what we happen to do is we have the food in between. The intermittent food which we take is not digested properly, and besides it is stored in the areas away from our heart, and hence it causes severe problems which we are not aware of. So, as per this theory, they are the food components which are called as toxin, because this food didn't get time to get digested. इससे पहले कि वो फूड मटेरियल आपकी बॉडी में डाइजेस्ट होता, आपने और फूड कंज्यूम कर लिया तो वो फूड डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो पाया. So that undigested food is called as toxins which get deposited. So I'll have a look here again. Toxins or are the unmetabolized waste that is not utilized by the body. They can be formed from the food that are absorbed but they are not used. वो unused, unmetabolized waste material या toxins जो है या food जो है वो हमारे generally joint में deposit हो जाता है and it causes pain. It also causes other disease in the long run. This toxin is formed from the undigested food. It creates fermentation and it disturbs the entire balance of the 3 doshas which we discussed in the previous slides. Similarly, there is another theory given which is based on the 16 channels. This is called as Strotamasi and Strota. This basically means the spaces where the substances are transported or exchanged. Those channels where the exchange of substances takes place, that is Strot, source. The vessels, hollow spaces, tubular structure, extra and intracellular spaces, these are called Strot. They meant to transport dhatu, mal and to the respective channels. This is another theory which is based on the digestive fire or the Agni. आपको ये अक्सर सुनने में मिला होगा कि हम जो भी खाते हैं वो हमारे शरीर को प्रभाव करता है, वो हमारे शरीर पे इफ़ेक्ट करता है। तो हम जो भी फूड खाते हैं, क्या वो ठीक से डाइजेस्ट हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, दैट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस। इट इज़ ऑल्सो हर्ड एज कि जितनी भी बीमारियाँ होती हैं वो डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम से ही होती हैं। इफ़ यू आर नॉट हैविंग प्रॉपर फूड, if you're not having balanced diet, if you're not having food at the right time, that all cause the disease of the digestive system, which further affects the other systems of the body. Why it is said, or why does it happen? Because of the theory of the Ayurveda, which is based on the digestive fire or the Agni, or you can say the HCl which is produced in the stomach. So, it includes all metabolic function, digestive function, cellular metabolism, mental assimilation and sense perception. Digestion is significant. If you are going to able to digest your food properly, all the essential nutrients, they will be absorbed in the blood, and hence your each and every organ is going to work in a regular and a fine manner. On the other hand, if digestion is not fine, if digestion is not good, that is going to lead to the rise of the diseases of the digestive system, which further affect the other body and systems in the body. This also means that proper digestion gives assimilation of the nutrients. अगर आपका खाना अच्छे से डाइजेस्ट हुआ है तो आपकी बॉडी के अंदर प्रोटीन्स, आयरन, other minerals, calcium, everything is being absorbed and every organ runs in a smooth manner. Agni is the medium through which body, mind and consciousness are bridged together. As per this theory of the Ayurveda, our body, mind and consciousness, they all are regulated with the help of the Agni. Agni, that is fire, which exists in our stomach, which is responsible for the digestion of the food. Hence, the digestion of the food is significant and should be taken care of. Agni controls the body and which further controls the mind and hence the consciousness of our mind. So, they all are bridged together with this digestive fire. Now, we can classify the branches of the Ayurveda. These are Damsht Chikitsa, which means toxicology, that is the study of the toxins which are released, the poisons and their antidotes which can be applied. Another is Bal Chikitsa. Bal arthat balak, yani ki baby, yani ki child. It means that is the science of the pediatrics. Kai Chikitsa, that means general medicine. Urdhvang Chikitsa, that deals with the ENT and ophthalmology. Greh Chikitsa, that means psychiatry, which is related to the brain and the related issues of the central nervous system. Shalya Chikitsa, which deals with the surgery of our body. Surgery when there is any need, there is incision or there is any disease or the tumor which has to be removed. Jar Chikitsa, that is geriatrics, which is going to deal with the ailment which exists because of the old age. When people grow older, the metabolism of their body that changes. Their lifestyle also changes. So, accordingly, they have to be taken care of. So, that comes under geriatrics. Their ability to digest the food, their ability to digest the drugs and the medicines, that also decreases. And hence, we also need to decrease the quantity or the dose of the drug in the geriatric patients. Next is Vrish Chikitsa, that is related to the sexual disorders or the aphrodisiac or the sexual desire of the body. So, these are the different branches of the Ayurveda which exist. Now, let us have look on these some of the drugs which we have been using in our homes since ages. They are nothing but they are part of the Indian system of medicine called Ayurveda. There are numerous and endless examples to be given, but for the time's sake, I'm going to tell just brief of 4 of them. The number 1 drug or the herb I'm talking about is Phyllanthus umbilica, or which is also called as Ayurveda name by the Amalaki. It is used in the hyperacidity condition, constipation, ulcers, high cholesterol, diabetes and anemia. It is obviously obtained from the amla. Next is Terminalia chebula, which has the Ayurvedic name as Haritaki. It is used in the constipation, dysentery, parasites, eye disorder, conjunctivitis, high cholesterol and hemorrhoids. Third is Curcuma longa. This is a very commonly and found in every Indian kitchen, that is called haldi. It treats fever, infections, ulcers, acne, skin inflammation, diabetes and gallstones. You might have noticed we generally apply the haldi ubtan. तो स्किन के लिए भी हल्दी यूज़ होती है. जब आपको चोट लगती है तब भी आप सरसों के तेल में हल्दी को गर्म करके उसका लेप लगाते हैं. सो इट इज़ ऑल्सो हैविंग दी एंटी इन्फ्लामेटरी एंड इट ऑल्सो ट्रीट द इन्फेक्शन. Whenever you are sick at home, you are given haldi milk. So it also helps to treat the fever and it is very good for skin as well. Another is Ocimum sanctum, which is also having a holy space in all our homes, that is tulsi. It treats flu, cough, cold, allergies, stress, asthma, bronchitis, lung disorders, heart diseases, diarrhea, dysentery, skin disorders, arthritis, eye diseases and jet lag. And this list is not the confined one. हम सब के घर में तुलसी रहती है, हम तुलसी की पूजा भी करते हैं और उसके सब बेनिफिट्स मैंने आपको यहाँ बताए हैं. जनरली जब भी आपको बुखार होता है और यू हैव अ थ्रोट इन्फेक्शन, व्हाट डू? यू टेक दी तुलसी टी or you have tulsi leaves. So why? Because it is going to have such a era of the therapeutic actions in our body. Even nowadays you might have been aware of the kada which has been given by the Ministry of Ayush, which also consists tulsi and haldi as one of the components which are used in the infections. So dear students, I would really admire you to practice all these things at home, to have a balanced lifestyle, need not to wake late in the night, sleep well in time, wake up early in the morning and have a balanced lifestyle. Besides that, there are Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, which is published in number of volumes, which are easily available at the Ministry of Ayush website. So you can download the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India and you can study lot many drugs if you're interested. So with this, I'm going to end my lecture. Thank you.